in partnership with CommSec.
So overnight, I mean, the main economic story of the day, folks, is the big, beautiful bill. It's passed the House, it's passed the Senate, it's now off to the President's desk for a signature. That'll come tomorrow. But Tom Piotrowski over at CommSec, I mean, that's a big part of the international story. How's that going to affect numbers?
Well, Pete, I suppose if you were to put it into the recent context, so many of the things that have haunted investors in recent weeks and months seem to be getting minimised, at least in the moment that we're navigating at the moment. So last night, the big, beautiful bill, as you rightly point out, passed through the House of Representatives for the second time. At the margins, there are concerns still about what impact that will have on deficits and spending. So that contributed to a bump higher in long and short-term interest rates. But also contributing to that, Pete, was better economic news. So we saw more jobs created in the last month relative to expectations. So again, to put that into context, there has been disquiet about what higher tariffs will mean and employers being less sanguine and potentially putting people off. But that hasn't materialised yet, nor has the inflationary pulse either. And that's precisely why you have seen investors just go, well, for the moment, there's nothing to worry about. Let's push these markets to new record highs. That's what you saw in the case of the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq last night. The Nasdaq up by 1%, the S&P 500 up 0.8%. It's a tide that lifts all boats, Pete, because we also saw the smaller part of the US market, the Russell 2000, which is an index we don't talk about much, but that index has risen by more than 1% for the last 3 days. It was up by 1% last night. So certainly a lot of optimism at the moment. We still have to resolve the tariff issue. So that's coming around the corner. But tonight, US markets close for the July 4 Independence Day celebration. So we've got, I suppose, a slightly longer weekend, Pete. We don't have to wait till Saturday morning and have all of our hopes pinning on those SPY futures that we look at.
So what did you say, what was the S&P up today following the BBB?
It was up by 0.8%.
Oh,
so
nearly
new record highs for both
new
the
record
S&P
highs.
500.
Isn't it amazing how the rise since Liberation Day? I mean, there was that huge fall, now the huge rise, and now we're at record levels. It's the nature of things, I suppose.
Well, I suppose the point is that if you are cautious or defensive, you've been poorly rewarded in these circumstances. If you turn a blind eye to the headlines, then you've been richly rewarded. So the futures in local terms pointing to an improvement of around 1/3%. But given the US absence tonight, you'd expect a pretty languid session as we move through regional trade today.